Hello folks, I am Ed Overstreet and welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. I'm going to be processing NGC6727. This data was sent to me by a friend, Dr. Phil Esce. Um, Phil and I go back a number of years. We were involved with the Spartanburg Photography Guild for a number of years, did a lot of horizontal photography together. And then we both went into astrophotography about the same time. Phil has an investment in an observatory that he put together in Chile, South America. And he took these images that we're going to be processing with a Stellarvue 130T and an SBIG AC4040 camera, SBIG AC4040 camera. He used Basder RGB filters, and one thing about this camera, it has a huge sensor. It's full frame, 36 millimeter by 36 millimeter, 9 micron pixels. So, wow. Actually, the image is really undersampled, and probably could have used a 2 times drizzle, but this is not a drizzled image. And so let's move on over to PixInsight and let's just check it out and see if we can't process it. All right. I have the images loaded, and so let's look at them independently in their mono form. This is the B channel, the blue channel. This would be the green channel, and this is the red channel. So, gracious, there's just there's a lot of stars, wouldn't you say? So, and again, if you look kind of close, you can see that the stars are kind of pixelated when you zoom in. So it could have, due to undersampling, it could have used a 2 times drizzle. There's the cluster. This is the emission nebula, and then there's the dark nebula that kind of surrounds it. So that's pretty cool. So also keep in mind, this is a very dark site. I'm not sure where it falls on the Bartle scale, but the whole purpose of building this observatory, well, 2 purposes: to have access to the southern hemisphere and the images it would get, and the fact that it's at a very dark site. So when you have a very dark site and great scene, if you're undersampled, that makes it even worse. So at any rate, good data, and so let's get started processing it. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is run linear fit. Let's combine the 3 channels and see what we have. So we want to put the green. Let's I don't need a clone. Let's just put those where we can play around with them. And let's first put the red in the red channel, the green in the green channel, and the blue in the blue channel. Let's keep them linked and let's see where it's biased. And so it has a very strong red bias. That's not uncommon. So what I want to do is we can unlink the channels and restretch this, and this is more of what I would expect after running linear fit. But let's go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and let's just put this aside for a minute. We can use it to compare. And let's bring up process, image inspection, and statistics. And let's load the blue channel. And let's see what the mean value is. It's 2.9, 0.03. And I'm looking for the lowest value. The green is 3.2, and it is to the third power. And the R is, as you would expect, the red channel is dominant. So I'm going to use the blue channel. I think, let me go back, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that had the lower value. I'm going to use the blue channel as my reference channel as I run linear fit. I'm just going to drop it here, open up my green mono image, run linear fit, and step back, and we'll run it on red. And we don't need linear fit anymore. So we can put those back, and let's bring up RGB again. And let's put our B in the blue channel, the green in the green channel, and the red in the red channel. And let's link them and see what we get now. And yeah, so here was our unlinked channel, and here after running linear fit is the same image linked. So we can keep that as a clone, and we're going to call this RGB. We're going to make a copy of it. And one thing I do want to do, though, I want to gosh, you can't type. Let's go back to PixInsight. Hit a hotkey accidentally. Now let's make a clone of that. All right. And the first thing I'm going to do now, I think, or the next thing I'm going to do is run Blur Exterminator. So let's do that, and which is deconvolution, and bring that up. I'm going to raise this to 35 and try that. And let's see if we can start working on these stars. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this, and let's let it run. One other thing, this was running. I'm going to see if I can't get out of this. Yep, I want to cancel the process. I think I want to, before I run this, I think I want to protect this cluster from, I want to protect this cluster from the deconvolution or the blur exterminator. So I'm going to build a mask just for that. I'm going to go to Script, Utilities, Game, Mask, and we're going to need to stretch this image, and let's get a bigger view. Don't need to be that big. And let's add an elliptical mask. Let's cover, it's a gradient mask, so I'm going to make it substantially bigger than the cluster itself. And so let's create that. And Now let's apply that. And we're going to invert because we're going to work on deconvoluting everything but the cluster. So I want to go to mask, no point in showing it, and I'm going to invert it. So we're going to protect this cluster from having deconvolution ran. And let's just see how that works. So I'm going to just call this cluster. I don't think I'll use it again in the not linear form, but in case I do, I'll put my mask over here. And let's go ahead and run this then. See what happens. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to run dynamic background extraction. We have some green. We have some vignetting that's revealing a lot of green in the corners. So we want to attack that. And so let's get started with that. I'm going to bring up dynamic background extraction. I want to make the sample size a little bigger. How about 150 pixels? Since this has so many small stars, I'm going to make these pixels huge. I mean, these sample boxes huge. And there will be, I don't want a real small sample box with 2 stars in it and not a lot of background. So this has more background than stars. So I got this idea from Sean Nielsen at Visible Dark, and it works great. So let's hit these corners because that's I want to try one there. I want to put one there. I think I'm going to make this sample box about 50 and put it there and get rid of that one. I will just move that over here. Okay, I want to save this and call it DBE. I can't spell DBE. And let's run it. I'm using division right now, and then I'm going to run subtraction. So let's see what our gradient looks like. There's the green in the corners. And that should have cleaned things up nicely. I'm going to put another sample box here. And I'm going to go back to 150. And I'm going to resize them, rest of them. Put one here. And I'm going to run subtraction, division. And let's run that. And let's check our gradient. Okay. We still have some in the corners, but oh, let's back up. I hope you can see what I did wrong. If you didn't, I've got the mask in here. So we're going to back up. And this was before we ran the gradient. So let's remove the mask. And let's open up again. Let's run subtraction. We've already seen it. The gradient. Let's run now division. I did add a couple more sample boxes, but I'm not so sure it made a difference. So we're going to see how this plays out. I'll put one there, one here, one here. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, let's try that. And go back to subtraction. That may have helped. Okay. All right, let's close this out. We're going to work with that, and let's take this up here, dB. What just happened? Here it is. Let me get this over here. Somehow or another, I lost my process. Okay, found it. I'm going to look at my noise. I don't see a lot of noise right now. I'm not going to apply any noise reduction like multilinear transformation, but I have it set up ready to go, and so it's a possibility, but I don't think I'm going to run it because I'll be running Noise Exterminator once I've removed the stars, just on the nebula part. So let's click on the image and see if we need to plate solve it. Nope. The last two row of numbers are the RA and the deck address, so we can run spectrophotometric color calibration, and let's get that set up. We're going to use, there's no SBIG camera, and I'm not familiar really with an equivalent sensor, so we're just going to use the ideal QE curve, but we do have Basder red, Basder green, and blue filters, and there we go. We do need to find a neutral background for a reference, and let's just be hard to do. We don't need much, but let me get a preview, and I'm going to go right here, and that's it. So from the preview, we're going to select that preview, and let's run spectrophotometric color calibration. Okay, voila. You can close this, and let's go ahead and take this image from linear to non-linear. We can get rid of the preview, and do I want to use generalized hyperbolic stretch or just the histogram transformation? I think I'm going to just use the histogram transformation, and let's stretch this, and I don't like that. Let's use our see if we can. Something on that order there. Yeah. Need more playroom here. I think I like it right there. So I'm going to take this, just reset and set the history. Let's drop this now right there. Let's take away the stretch and apply what I just did. And we're now stretched. We're now color calibrated. So let's bring, let's see what we want to do here. Let's pull the luminosity out of it. And gotta make a decision. Let's go ahead and remove the stars first. And yeah, we're going to remove the stars. So I'll bring up Russell Croman's Star Exterminator, and let's do that. I just stopped it. Do you want to abort? Yep. Tell you what I want to do. I want to abort this. Before I remove the stars, I think I'm going to create a non-linear game mask. I want to protect this galaxy again from Star Exterminator. So I'm going to go up to Script. Really running this on it's already been there from before. I like it. So let's create a new mask. This time it's non-linear mask. And so this will just be the cluster non-linear mask. Let's apply that. And we'll put our mask over here. Let's go to mask and let's invert it so that we're going to run Star Exterminator on everything but the cluster. I want this cluster to be left alone. And so we already have Star Exterminator running. Let's apply it. Okie dokie. Well, we did protect that galaxy, so we have it in, yes, that's what I wanted to do. All right, good. So let's remove the mask before I forget to do that. And the first thing that I want to do, look at all the nebulosity we've got here. And that's a good thing. So I'm going to rename this stars. And we're just going to call this very creatively starless. And we'll work on those in a minute. Let's see, we want to go here with that. First thing I'm going to do, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on saturation. So I'm going to make a luminosity mask. I didn't want to run this until I removed the stars. I almost started to do it, and then I decided to remove the stars because the stars are already saturated a good bit. And so I don't think I want to run any more saturation on them. They've got great color as they are, just right now. So I'm going to, I may not do a whole lot with the stars other than tame them. So let's take this luminosity mask and let's use it to run some saturation. I'm going to go open up the LRGB combination channel, and I'm going to drop this in the luminance. And I'm going to turn off RG and B, and I'm going to take saturation down, which is actually up. And I got this idea from Entering Into Space. That's his website. I don't know his name. but he's got a lot of great ideas, and this is one of them. And then I'm going to apply some saturation to the, let's see, do I need to apply saturation to this? No, I don't think I do. Let's do it one time to the whole image. So let's drag this over, and okay, let's do this again, but this time let's take our cluster mask and let's apply that, because I don't want saturation on that. And let's go to mask and invert it so that we're working on everything but the cluster. And drop this down to say 340, 330, and let's run this again. I want to bring out this reflection nebula. The dark nebula is already looking pretty good color-wise. I don't know that I want to do that much more, but I'm going to bring up script, utilities, and we're going to bring up game, and we're going to create another mask. We're going to leave that one there. Let's add a mask. Actually, no, let's delete that one. Let's just bring up let's just make a mask for right here for this reflection nebula. And let's create it. We can close this down, and we're going to just replace this mask, and we'll bring that over here, and we're going to change this to, whoa, wrong keys. And okay, all right. Is this inverted? No. So this is what we want. So we're just going to work on just this area. So let's zoom in. And we're just going to apply saturation to this area. The mask is protecting everything but the reflection nebula. Okay, let's do it another time. This may be a little bit of overkill. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. Let's remove the mask. And let's apply, let's see, I'm going to run noise reduction, but I'm not sure I want to run it on this. So I'm going to bring up my cluster mask again, and I'm going to protect the cluster, and I'm going to invert it so that we're going to work on everything but the cluster, and we're going to bring up noise exterminator, and let's dial this down to about 60, and let's run it. Okay, so we ran noise reduction on everything but the cluster. I don't know if that was smart or not, but I did it anyway. I'm going to remove the mask and noise exterminator. Now it's time to bring our stars back, but I'm going to run star reduction. It's a star reduction process that was created by Bill Blanchard, and I love it. So I'm going to open it up in the global context, and I've got the starless image already in there. I'm going to put the target view is actually going to be my stars, and then I'm going to bring the starless view in. So here is the image with these stars pretty much tamed down. It's a strong mode. I'm going to go to soft, and actually I'm going to go to moderate. Let's see how we want to do this. I want to take backwards. Target view is going to be my stars, and then it's going to be starless. I'm dyslexic. And have I protected my yeah, I protected it pretty good. Okay, how about my nebula? Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, I like it. Let's try, let's go back to strong. And let me check this out. Okay. Well, folks, I think I'm going to settle on moderate. And let's try a lightness method here. That may be a little better. Transfer method. Don't like it. Halo. Like it even worse. Lightness. Star. I'm going to go with the star method. I usually do. And let's go ahead and create this image, see what it looks like. All right. So close this out. Here's our new stars image. And we'll put this over here. This over here. And here is our finished image with a protected cluster and beautiful color in the stars. I didn't have to do anything with the stars. That's a credit to this dark site and great equipment. Look at these arms of this nebula, dark nebula. I love it. Great data. Okay, I don't think I would do anything else but change this name to NGC 6727 and save it, and save the image first, and we want to save it as a TIFF file in case we ever bring it into Photoshop, and I don't know why I would. 16-bit. And then I want to save this as a project. Save project. We'll call this NGC 6727 project. And we'll put that in Phil's folder, Phil Esce, save, and it'll save all the steps that we've performed so far. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. if you will, consider what they say, subscribing, liking, and hitting the ding dong bell. I'll catch you later, and hope everybody has a great weekend.